all right. Hey, everybody. This is Paul, half of Dads and Dice, and everything seems to be good on my end. I think this is like the first time in forever that haven't had any technical difficulties at the beginning. But yeah, I'm Paul, half of Dads and Dice, and we're here for our What's New in the Collection live stream. So we generally do this about once a month. You can hear me without echo at the start. So the echo is actually our nice microphones. I know what causes that. I just forget to fix that setting. Let me move my chat over here so that I can see it. Most of the time when it's this microphone, I just forget to turn it on. That's because Devin had just left and we were using the nice microphones. So I do know the issue of that one, but me fixing it, that's the other issue. So yeah, we are here to do our What's New in the Collection. It looks like we've got 9 new things here. 2/3 of them sent to us by publishers, so I'll go ahead and say that whenever we get to them. And then 3 of them here, just things that we got ourselves for Christmas or things that we got around the Christmas holiday, because the last time we did this was before Christmas. So generally we tell people not to get us games or anything like that for the holiday season, just because, first of all, it's hard to pick games that we really enjoy. And second of all, we have more than enough games. So, yeah, that is what we're going to be doing here. A couple of different ones in here this time that I'm really excited to try that I haven't gotten to just yet. So, yeah, let's go ahead and start getting into what's new in the collection. Pat, what are you using to color your dice tower? It looks pretty sweet. Okay, let's start with. We will start here with In the Ashes. This is published by DeVere Games, and they actually sent this one to us. This is a game. That's not what I meant to say. This is a game book. It says it somewhere on here exactly what it is. In the Ashes is a tabletop action role-playing game that you can play in a book. So this is a game, but it is based in a book. It is a narrative-driven game. Hey, Michael. And I believe, I'm not very far in it yet, but it is a choose your own adventure style book. You get to make choices, and then your character progresses with those choices throughout the story. So I don't want to show too much of it because there are spoilers, but I'll kind of talk about the prologue a little bit. You have 2 to 3 more smudgings before matte clear it. Yeah, it is looking good. I like the colors that you're using on there. So this is the sky was dyed red. What seems like a hum became an explosion in my ears, which left me stunned. A ball of fire and ash crossed the sky towards the interior of the island. A second later, the ground shook as the objects hit the mountains. So like I mentioned, this is a tabletop role-playing game. It uses innovative mechanics that will allow you to live adventures using a combination of tactical combat, decisions making, skill selection, equipment customization, much more of that than a game book. Hey, Dennis. So we'll kind of look here at the prologue so that way you guys can just kind of see a little bit about it. It's got some sweet art in there. And then this is the very first page. So you've got somebody being burned alive there. So you get right into the meat of things here. Like I said, I'm not going to go into too much of it, but welcome to the prologue. This game is designed so that you learn the rules as you go. At any time, if you have questions, you can check the specific rules in the back of the book. You're going to be learning the rules a little bit at a time. You'll find them in this kind of gray font. It says, pay attention. There might be some things in here that you might want to be looking for later. So like in many TTRPG games where one thing you see now might affect you in the future, you might have that here. And then it goes into this little bit of a story, and then it's got that image of that girl being burned alive. This is the first kind of scenario in the book, and so you're actually going to be writing in the book. You are a character. You're going to be selecting from cards over here that you have in the corner. And so there are, in this example, there's 4. There's a couple rules of what cards you can use and which ones you can't. But basically, there's some movement and then there's listening. So it gives you a goal for the scenario. And then what you have to do is if you listened or if you did whatever you needed to, it says go to a certain page based on what you did and mark this symbol. Gonna go tune my daughter's new bass. Sweet. What kind of bass is it? I actually play bass, or I did. I haven't played it in a long time. But yeah, so you've got this, and then there's some like symbols that you'll see on the edges, on the margins of the book. Right, it says here, where is it? It says on here, like, go to this page, mark the margin, mark the symbol on the margin, but don't look at the page, forget about it. Whenever you get to that page in the future, if it's marked, you get something from it. So I'm really excited for this one. I think it's going to be really cool. I know Devin has already gone through it a little bit. This one can be, it's a solo experience, and you're supposed to be doing different, you can do different choices. So even though you're going to be writing in the book and all that stuff, you can give this to somebody else. They will just have to make other choices than what you did. It's probably not the best way for it to be replayable, but they did make it in a way that you're not going to see the entire book. And you can pass it on, or you can go back and make other choices. But it looks like there's a total of 240-ish pages in here. So there's a lot of stuff that you can see. Very excited for it. My mom got it for her. If she sticks with it for a year, I'll get her a good one. So right up here, actually, you can see it a little bit. I've got my Squire P bass. This was my very first one that I had. And then right over here is my Schecter. Oh man, I forgot what it is. It's a 1-piece solid wood. I was in a couple metal bands and stuff like that back in high school. We needed a guitar player. I couldn't play guitar. I got a bass, and that's how I started playing bass. So that is In the Ashes. Like I said, I went through the prologue today. I'm going to be starting Act 1. It looks like this right here. And what I like about it is that, it's this book. All I need is a pencil. I don't know what it's used for yet, but on some of these pages in the corners, they have die numbers. So like there's a 6, there's a 4 over here. So I'm sure I'll say like, go to this page, whatever number that is. I don't know, something like that. But it seems interesting enough, and excited to try that. In the Ashes. Okay, let's move on to the next thing here. We'll go into some stuff that we got for Christmas. So I think Devin talked about this one last time. Not 100% sure. I know he didn't bring it last time, so I at least have it this time. But he got Clank Adventuring Party. Him and I both really enjoy Clank. I've talked about it before. I'm not the best at deck building or anything like that, but I think Clank is probably the best in that category. One that I really enjoy. I like the dungeon crawlingness of it, the little push your luck aspect of trying to see who can go down the deepest and make it out in time. So there's just a lot to this game that I like. We've played tons of Clank. I know Devin's mentioned it, that it's his wife's favorite game, so he has gotten every single expansion for it, and this was the last one that he was missing for it. So this is an expansion that adds asymmetric player abilities. So it looks like there is 7 of them. Lead trusty companions as the dwarf, build a wonders collection as the elf, smash hordes of enemies as the orc, sling arcane spells as the mage, amass primate powers as the monkey bot. Oh, that's awesome. You can play as the monkey bot, or stir up a paw full of trouble as a devious cat whiskers. So it looks like there's 6 of them. Beware the ravenous hydra won't give up his treasures easily. So it looks like it adds something else in there. The Hydro, which looks to be something like the dragon, but I'm not sure exactly what. You can play up to 6 players now. These are the player abilities. Oh, this is sweet. There's the monkey bot. I love that. Let's see, the cat Whiskers. I feel like I've seen Whiskers somewhere. I don't remember exactly where, but I feel like that was somewhere that we've seen. And then the 5 to 6 player expansion here. Looks like there's some new treasures, some more coins, a new little market board. Components, 127 cards. The reserve cards, starting decks up to make it up to 6 players. Some invisibility cloaks. And then, yeah, all the cards. So here's the new Hydra piece. That looks really cool. Nice and chunky little Hydra. And then you've got your own little meeples and the Orc Smash. I love that. Very cool. So yeah, it's just, you know, Clank, like we said, we love this game. We've played it a ton. So anything for it, we enjoy it. And as Devin always says, more for Euros, but a good Euro expansion is adding asymmetric powers. That is all they need to do for it to be a good expansion, and Clank did that. So Clank Adventuring Party. Okay, the next one. Let me move these off camera here. Okay, the next one here are 2 things that I got. So they're not new games, but they are new in the collection. And that is some collector's boxes. So I got Architects of the West Kingdom, and I got Viscounts of the West Kingdom, the collector boxes. Whisker's face looks like the Doctor on Lower Decks. Yeah, there we go. There's some more Lower Decks art. Wait, is Lower Decks? Hold on, I'm thinking. Was it not Star Trek Upper Deck? Let me see. Oh, you're gonna have to tell me that. Now that I said that, it sounds weird now that I'm saying it, but it's got to be that. Anyway, Architects of the West Kingdom, Viscounts of the West Kingdom. As you guys know, we're huge Garfield Games fans. I've always just had the this size box of it. I printed out some 3D inserts years ago that allowed me to keep everything basically in the base box of it. But there's always been lid lift, and it's always just been, yeah, okay, that's what I thought it was, Dennis. I don't know why it sounded weird to me. I was thinking Upper Deck for some reason, but that's definitely not it. So I've had the small boxes. There's been lid lift. It hasn't really bothered me, but I finally did just get Paladins into the collection, and that one was in this collector's box. So I wanted to go ahead and just make it all one uniformed collection. So this just adds basically, you know, some organization in here. I'm not going to lift it up too much. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of, Michael. I'm not sure. But yeah, this just adds some organization in here. You get a couple more of these player powers. You just get everything nice in there. There's a couple promos that come in it. So that is the Architect's box. That was fun trying to reorganize everything on there. I really liked my 3D printed ones that I had, and actually kept some of those components just for, you know, just to use for different games as like organizers and stuff like that. But then I got the Viscounts one. This one, not as good as the Architects one, I feel like. So here's this organizer. I've got my set of metal coins down here. This is a weird board, first of all, right? Like this is my favorite Garfield game. But it's got this weird board. It's got these manuscript things. There's just a lot to this one, right? Your own player boards, you got your rules, and then everything in there. So it does organize everything fairly well, but you know, it fits a little bit weird. Fits a little weird. Um, that's probably how that's supposed to go. That makes more sense. Now that I'm saying it and doing this out loud, look at that. That actually makes sense. Whoa. Let's see if this fits. You know what? I just had to do it live and make it fit a little bit better. Okay. That is good. I do like that more. Looks like I was skipping there. Not sure how that is. Okay. I just have to rearrange things a little bit. Now, maybe, you know, I organized this right before we had a Christmas party that we were going to go to, so I was kind of rushing. There we go. Look at that. All fixed. Fits nice and new. But yeah, that's these two collector's boxes. And this one, you know, just like Architects, came with some more promos. There was some chest promos, some outsider cards, of course, new townsfolk, and it just tells you exactly what to do in there. So 12 promos for that. What were the promos for Architects? It's got to just be townsfolk. Oh, and buildings, of course. 4 adornment cards, 3 building cards, 6 apprentice cards, and 1 contribution consequence card. So something for all of the expansions. But yeah, that is those two. And like I said, both of those were Christmas presents. One of them from my brother, and then one of them from my parents. So really appreciate that. Like I said, now I've got a nice uniform collection that looks good on the shelf directly behind me, right there. Okay. Let's see. Let's go ahead and go into these games right here. These 3 that we have were sent to us by Rio Grande Games. We've been getting a lot of stuff sent by them. We very much appreciate them. We're working on a video for Vladimir Suchi, which is the designer of these games. So as of right now, we have all of the Vladimir Suchi games published by Rio Grande Games. There's a total of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think there's 8 that I can think of off the top of my head. Now, he does have some other ones not published by Rio Grande, but we're going to be looking at all the ones published by Rio Grande. So this first one up is Woodcraft. This is one that I'm very, very excited to play. I actually have not done anything with it yet because I've been learning one of the other ones. So what we're doing is I'm learning some of them. Devin is learning some of them. We're getting together. We're just playing some of these games. And then we're just recording kind of some quick thoughts about it, what our initial impressions were. After a couple more plays, what our thoughts were of them. And then we're going to go in and rank them based on our favorite Vladimir Suchi games. So this is another action selection game. That is what he's known for. But in this one, you have these dice. And I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but these dice are going to determine your action that you're going to be doing. So you have this wheel. Of course, you have a wheel. Woodcraft is good. It's different than his other games. Interesting. He seems to have a specific, not theme, but mechanic, or like you can tell it's by him. So you've got this, I want to say this is like the factory in here. But you've also got this wheel, which is this saw. And that's what's going to be, I believe, keeping track of the game. Oh, here is this here. I find it slightly less intuitive, but once you get how the dice work, it's really fun. So this is the actions that you're going to be doing. So with this one here, you have the dice, and you're going to be collecting them. And I believe they represent different types of materials. Again, not 100% sure. I haven't really looked at it too hard yet. So that's going to kind of determine what you do with those resources. You can also collect tools. And the tools are things like hatchets, saws, I forget what it's called, like chisels and stuff like that. Um, and those are your dice mitigations. So like you can cut dice. So like if you have a 6, you can cut it into 2 and use them as 3s. That's kind of the gimmick to the game is kind of what Michael's saying there. It's once you figure out how the dice work, gets a little bit better. So looks like this is your player boards. Then you have some blueberries. Not sure what the blueberries do. Obviously some type of resource. Let's see. Delightful profession of woodcraft. Welcome to the forest's most satisfying, most productive cottage industry. Beginning with a few pieces of lumber, you will craft furniture, musical instruments, and other household items as practical as they are beautiful. Are there any limits to the wonders of wood? It can be cut to any shape. It can be stacked and glued to any thickness. It is satisfying to the touch, pleasing to the eye, intriguing to the nose. You can find it readily available for barter or sale, and you can even grow your own. How lucky are we to work with such a versatile material? How lucky are we to live in a land where our labors are rewarded? As you progress in your craft, you'll be able to improve your workshop, acquire new tools, enlist help of others. Diligence, patience, and attention to detail, your business will grow. You'll make creations for your customers, and your reputation will grow. Blueberries are victory points. There we go. That's an interesting choice. So yeah, that's woodcraft. This is going to be the next one that I get to the table. Because like I said, I'm pretty excited for this one. I've heard our buddy Joe, Board Games for Two, he played this one last year. He said that Devin and I would enjoy this game. It wasn't really his cup of tea. He said it was okay, but not his favorite. But he said that Devin would for sure like it, and that I would probably have a good time with it. So, I'm excited to get this one in there. It's got to be, I'm going to be doing it solo first. So I'm assuming the solo is just like all his other solos. Yeah, we think 110 is a good score. 104 is excellent. So it's just a beat your own score kind of game. The amount of points you score does depend on how helpful bonuses and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, most of his solos are, I think this is a good score. Try to beat it kind of thing. George, I bounced off Woodcraft. I like Underwater Cities and Pulsar 2849. So Underwater Cities is one that Devin is going to be teaching me. We do have the expansion for that one, so we are going to play the base game first, and then we are actually going to stream with the expansion at one point here in the near future. So we've heard Underwater Cities is probably his best from a lot of people. Unfortunately, Pulsar 2849 is not published by Rio Grande Games, so we are not going to be rating that one in this video that we're making, but we have heard very good things about that as well. And then just in my personal collection, I do have Prodigals Club. So again, that is another one that we will be playing, but we're not going to be ranking them for the specific video that we're going to be making. But we're very much enjoying all of Suchi's games, and I can't believe we slept on him for so long. I feel like I've said that the last couple months, but just everything that he's done has been really, really enjoyable. So yeah, that's Woodcraft. After Woodcraft, we have one that I just that I learned that I will be teaching Devin after he teaches me Underwater Cities. And that is Rasafa. So this is Suchi's game that was released this year, or I'm sorry, 2024 last year. And this one is you're a city and desert. You're in the city and the desert, a board game of trade and survival on a parched land. Journey along merchants' routes, undertake business deals, strive for water, the city's lifeblood. Help the city grow by strategically building canals, workshops, and gardens. And Rasafa, every decision balances economic prosperity with the primal need for survival. Will you thrive in this dynamic desert realm? Yeah, George, I've really been enjoying this one. I will say this has been the one that has been the hardest to wrap my head around so far. Not because it is difficult, but because there is so much choice in the game that it's really hard to limit yourself and what you want to do. There's just so much that like I want to do, and I just have to remember, no, I can't do the gardens. No, I can't do do my workshops. I can't do all of it, right? So you really, I feel like this one is one where you really have to specialize in something. George, have you been playing this one solo? Like I said, I've played I think 3 times solo. And going back to what he says about scores, the solo on this one says, where is it? Yes, it is very big and very open-ended. You can do whatever you want. I think a good score in here is 150. I don't remember. The first time I got a 94. And I was like, oh, it wasn't even good. It was okay. So I remember I texted Devin. I was like, I couldn't even get an okay score. Yeah, 150. 180 is good. 200, very good. 220, excellent. My second playthrough of it, I think I got like 120 something. So I was still a good way off of an okay score. So that was a little bit demoralizing. But either way, it's one that I know with more playthroughs, I'll just keep on improving because you just keep doing a little bit better each time. But yeah, this is a very massive board. And it's 2-sided. So you've got a bunch of different stuff on here, and I'll try to talk through it the best that I can. But on this side right here, you've got these canals. And like you said, you're in the desert, so you're going to be trying to make water go down these canals. The water is ways that you can just get victory points, right? You might get some bonuses here and there, but it's just a way to get victory points. It is going to be scoring at the end of every 2 rounds. So the first 2 rounds you'll play, and then it'll score these canals. You'll play 2 more rounds, it'll score the canals, and then 2 more rounds, and then the canals. So it scores 3 times. In the middle here, you've got this trade section. And so you have camels. And these camels actually have little slots on them that you can slot different resources on. So you've got resources like, I can't think off the top of my head, but I know sand is one of them. You've got rock, you've got clay, you've got pottery. So you can stack them on top of these camels, and then those camels will go from city to city, either selling stuff or buying stuff. You'll have your player board, and on your player board, you can have some workshops, and these workshops give you some type of bonuses. So it can be some types of resources, victory points, anything like that. And in between that, you can do gardens. When you have gardens, you can start collecting the rainwater and stuff like that. The coolest thing about it is the way that the cards work. So you have 6 starting cards, and on each card there is a top and a bottom half. So the top half is one action, the bottom half is another action, and then on each half there's also a color. So you can do you're going to be doing 2 things on your turn. You're going to be playing the color action, which is either a yellow, a white, a blue, or a pink. So what you do with that is you'll either get some type of upgrade card. So the yellow ones are upgrade cards. You'll get some type of immediate bonus with these, or something that is ongoing. And then the pink is you'll get some type of end game scoring. So that is the color action. You can do that, or you can get like an immediate bonus. You can get other cards. So there's a lot you can do with colors. And then you'll do one of those 6 main actions. So it's there's a lot going on to it. But it's fairly easy. Like it's not hard. The mechanics are not hard. It is the decision space that gets a little bit tricky. And George, you're absolutely right. The sign of a good Euro is you want to do everything, but you can't. And the fact that this game, you're going to play 3 of your 6 cards the first round, the other 3 on the second round, and that's all your cards. So you are going to be using all of your cards. So that's kind of like the resource that's tight in the game. Gathering these resources, the stone, the clay, the pottery, that's not very hard. It's really managing what are you going to be doing on your turn. That's where the decision space comes in. If I play this card and I garden, I'm going to be giving up one of my workshops. Or if I play this card and I trade, I'll be giving up one of my canals. Is it going to be worth it to do? So you're only going to play your cards. You're going to go through all 6 cards 3 times. So it's just 18 turns. And again, like a lot of Suchi's games, you have in Praga, you've got 12 turns. Rasafa here, you've got, 18 turns. He knows how to do those tight Euros. And so it's very, very interesting. And I'm excited to keep playing with it. And I know Devin is going to destroy me that first time that we play. Pat, officially -2 in Kentucky. It's pretty cold here in Texas also. It felt, I think, like 4 this morning. Very, very cold. So, I think that's everywhere, not just you. All right. And then the last one that we have, Rio Grande games. And this is Aldebaran. I don't remember. It's one of those. Aldebaran Duel. And this is a 2-player game that he actually released last year as well. So Suchi, most of his games are actually published through Delicious Games, but Delicious Games doesn't have games here, so all of those come out through Rio Grande Games. This one was actually not published by Delicious Games. It was published by Dino Toys, I think, something like that. So this wasn't his main one for the year, but this one did come out last year. He's generally known for just putting 1 game out a year. Last year he did 2, and this one was kind of the secondary one. But this is a 2-player duel. Aldebaran. That's how I think it is. So let's see. Aldebaran. In the glow of the rays of the giant orange star, 2 empires are heading towards an interplanetary clash. In this game, you're the leader of a space fleet attempting to conquer and dominate as much of the new planetary system as you can. Discover planets, colonize them, use their mineral resources to build spaceships, strive to gain supremacy over your opponent within 3 epoch. I can never say that word. EPOCHS. I sound like Devin. We need a better giant star. Here we go. We are going to be trying to do that here. Epoch. There you go. Thanks, George. In the course of the game, you get cards representing planets, space shuttles, mining stations, partially colonized planets. Let's see what else. However, the cards also may and even need to be used as resources. So there you go again. He's using his cards as resources to build your empire, which is why you never stop trying to make the best decision. It's more efficient to play the card or use it as a means of payment. It looks like this plays in about... There is no time stamp on this. What does it say on the back? It says 60 to 90 minutes, so relatively quick. You've got your board here. Not sure what any of that is, but it looks very spacey. This punch out. Don't think that needed to be a punch out, but it was a punch out. It looks like this bends, but I don't... Well, it does bend, but I don't know what's... I guess it's 2-sided? It's the same on both sides? I don't know. Here's a solo card. Some more little tiles. Oh no. I I think this is supposed to be a player thing, but it looks to be ripped. That's okay. Here is the red one. Those are the best punches. It keeps it from folding in the box. I guess so. Ooh, I don't know what happened here. This is all messed up. That is okay. I'll have to see what it is. Looks like all the punch stuff is okay. Like I said, this is a 1 to 2 player game, so there's a lot of solo things going on here. We've got some cards and then some tokens. Let's see what these things are. Should be in the components list, maybe. Game preparation, game content, 117 cards for 3 epochs, 16 cardboard science cards, wooden markers, tokens, reference card, solo opponent. I don't know what this is. Oh well, I have to look something up. Seems to not be important, but interesting that it would be in there. Let's see, driving aspect, goal of the game, gameplay. Space object tokens, colonization. Yeah, not sure what that is. I just unwrapped this one today, so we'll see. Hopefully it's not anything super important. I think it might just be like a way to separate the player cards or whatever. Maybe it's just the bottom of the deck. I don't know. They look like bad inserts. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Which is funny that they would even put an insert in this because none of the other games have inserts. But you're probably absolutely right. That's got to be what it is. Oh well, there's bags. Yeah, I think this is how it goes. Cheap is better word. Okay, well, we'll deal with that later. We'll just get it all. And then this one, oh, this one is 2, I see. Ah, that's got to be what this is. Nope. That is definitely 1 player board. Okay, well, we will look into this one a little bit more later. Got to put it flat so it doesn't bend. Okay, there we go. So that is Aldebaran Duel. Like I said, we'll see how it plays. It wasn't his big release of last year, but I did watch Rado's run through of the game or his final thoughts for it. He seemed to really enjoy it. He seemed to really like the card resources, like was mentioned on here, and he said there's a lot of tension in it. So that's something that I've been kind of leaning towards lately in games. So give it a shot, see how it goes. Aldebaran Duel. Okay, up next we have both of these games were sent to us by CEG, by Czech Games Edition. And the first one up here is Little Alchemist. This is one that so we actually reached out for another game, which we'll get into in a little bit. But once we reached out, they said, hey, would you be interested in Little Alchemist as well? I have never played Alchemist, the original. Joe has, and he absolutely loves Alchemist. It is a deduction game. Like many CGE games, it does use an app, but the app is supposed to be very, very well done. And so this past year, they released Little Alchemist. So, like My Little Everdale, My First Castle Panic, My First Ticket to Ride, those kind of games. This is the kid version of Alchemist. So when they said, hey, would this be something that you'd be interested in checking out? I said, yeah, for sure. I might not be able to play it with my daughter right now, but definitely given in a couple years, I'm hoping that I can play it with her. But even with that said, I know many people that have actually played this game, adults, and they've very much enjoyed it. So actually next weekend, we will be meeting up with Joe from Board Games for Two and I'm going to see if this is one that they would want to play, because like I mentioned, I know he very much enjoys Alchemist, and we'll see if he'll like this one too. So looks like you have your player boards here. Yep. So like I said, it is a deduction game. So this is your player screen that will be going in front of you. You've got some fruits in there. You've got these little mice. Alchemist is a freaking blast. Looks like fun. More player boards. So from what I think Alchemist is, again, not sure, haven't ever played it. Look at those awesome little meeple or player things. I don't know if you can see it. They're little potion bottles. You've got your blue and your green. Hopefully you can see that. Probably not, but you've got those cool little potions. As you're trying to figure out potions with people, and or you're trying to figure out what the potion is. So somebody might have one ingredient, somebody might have another ingredient, something like that. Again, I'm not 100% sure, but you're just trying to figure out what's in these potions. And I think this right here, it's another dual layered player board, but you've got like your ingredients right there, and you're just trying to figure out what is in it. Let's see. More tokens. These are super cute. You got like these lobsters, these feathers, and oh man, I forget what they're called. These things. They are the yellow tokens in Quacks of Quedlinburg. Oh, Myrrh. Oh, what are they? Somebody has to know what they are. Oh, I can't think of it right now. Brain is going blank. You've got your red player one here. Looks like some type of pig or something. Very cool. I'm really liking this art style, and I think this would definitely appeal to the kids. Uh, you've got your toads, I'm assuming, for the potions that you're making. Your bird's feet. More tokens. Ooh. Some stickers. And then this is cool. So you've got... so this is discover new rules and content. So how the game plays is, like I said, this is for kids. So they do introduce you with a basic, easy game at first. So you learn as you play, you unlock more secrets. So the rules start off simple. Higher levels can be surprisingly complex. Find the challenge that fits your family. Learn the rules at your pace, chapter by chapter. The app guides you. So you start off here with number 1. Or with number 2, you go to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's going to slowly be adding more and more stuff. There's not even a rule book in here. So all the things are here in your boxes. So let's open up number 2 here, see what it has. Looks like some ingredients, some negative victory points, and then I'm assuming some victory points here. And that's all that's in that box. It's got a 1 lock on it. So now that I say that, level 1 is gotta be just the base thing on here. Where it says you can try it right now, scan the QR code, launch the app, tap start new game. So I'm sure the first one that you do is not even any of these, and you just add those on later as the game progresses. So very cool. This looks really good. The production value of it is very high. CGE, I said there's not a rule book. There's one right here. I lied. CGE seems to be making very good stuff. I really like the production of all their games. We played, what is that game that we played? Deal with the Devil a couple BGGs ago. And while I did not enjoy the game, because it's just not what I expected from the game, while I did not enjoy that one, I thought it was brilliantly made. and I thought the actual like mechanics were very, very intuitive. CG makes all their games in-house in Czech Republic now. Very cool. I did not know that they were doing it in-house now, but they've been knocking it out of the park. But yeah, so we played Deal with the Devil, and again, while I didn't really care for the game, it was done really well. The app was awesome. So in that game, you are playing as what is it? You're playing as the devil. One person's the devil. Two people are just normal people, and then one person is I forget what it's called. But he's trying to get rid of his souls, and then the devil's trying to collect souls. So in between every round, you are sending off bids, so either money or souls or anything like that. And you're sending them around, and the app is telling you who to give this box to and who to give this box to. And since it is a hit and roll game, you don't know whose boxes is who, and the app is keeping track of it. So the app works really well in that game. Stop drooping through the box. Dig this first. This game contains many hidden surprises. If you don't ruin them, don't open any of the paper boxes. Oops. So I opened number 2. That's okay. You need this app to play. It goes through the components. There are sealed pages in here. That's cool. So all of these are sealed. The ripped cardboard are inserts, and everything should fit in between the inserts except the main board and rule books. George, thank you so much for that. At least it's the insert. That's fine. I don't care about the insert. Well, this is awesome. There's only 8 rules in the base. And then we'll go into more of these sealed pages later. James started with SETI and a few reprints. That's awesome. Man, they've just been knocking it out of the park lately. With Kutna Aura over here, that was a really good game of 2023. It would have made both of Devin and mine's list, but we decided when we were doing our list, we weren't including games from 2023 for our like new to me games, and we missed playing it in 2023. But Kutna Aura was really good. We really enjoyed it. And talking about SETI, this was actually the one that we were very excited to try out, and we finally got it. So, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. This was probably like the hit game of last year. We saw so many people talking about it, and this is one that Devin was very excited about when it got released last year. He had mentioned it on his most anticipated games for last year. But this game is awesome. Picking up Brink. I don't know what Brink is. I haven't heard of Brink, but Luthier looks very, very good. And as I mentioned, I do play bass. I've got my bass here. I've got my guitar here. I actually played trumpet in middle school. I tried playing violin, tried playing piano. So music is something that I'm very much heavily involved in. So while I didn't back Luthier, it is one that I'm very interested in playing. Devin was not a huge fan of Distilled. I very much enjoyed Distilled, so I'm not sure what he'll think about Luthier. I know the gameplay is completely different and all that kind of stuff, but we'll see. I know Joe is very into music as well, so I know that he's really excited for that one. So we'll definitely be giving it a play. Hopefully picking it up at some point, but we are very excited for that one. I love the orchestra we went on Sunday. Hey, Ian. Brink is in Moonrakers. Okay, so Moonrakers, I know what you're talking about. Moonrakers is one that does not appeal to us very much. Not super into Moonrakers. Trumpet. I also played trumpet. Yeah, there you go. So funny story. I know I'm getting off topic here, but in 7th grade, I played trumpet. I was second chair, highest band. I think it was orchestra band, or or whatever it was back in the day. But I was second chair, or second highest chair in the highest band, and I was trying all the time, practicing, doing this. I really wanted that first chair. Could never do it, whatever. The summer of 7th grade is when I really got into bass guitar. Guitar first, and then I transitioned to bass. And I went from being second chair trumpet to last chair trumpet in the worst band because I stopped really practicing and I stopped caring about the trumpet and I just went on to the bass. So I absolutely loved my time with that. You play guitar in a local band. Sweet. What kind of music, George? But yeah, so like once I stopped playing trumpet, me and some buddies, we started up some metalcore bands and all that kind of stuff. Started playing shows, local shows, and all of that, and had a blast with it. So, James, you're saying it's very different from Distilled. Yeah, I've watched some playthroughs from it. The production quality looks great for luthier. So I don't know. We'll see. There you go, George. Awesome. Rock and metal. That's what I'm into. I like some rock and metal. So, okay, this is SETI. Pat, you were saying it's beautiful. It is beautiful. This is a gigantic board game. It takes up so much space. Now, I will say, I've said it before. I have a custom table here. It's about 3.5 by 3.5. It took up every inch of that 3.5 width. I actually had to readjust the board a little bit to make it fit in here. But it's a massive game. Find the replayability lacking in second half too long. So I'll get into that a little bit, James. But with SETI, you are, I've played it twice solo. I got once on Saturday night. It was Sunday night, and then once this afternoon. So last night and this afternoon. And so my first playthrough of it was a little bit rocky. I wasn't 100% sure what I was doing. I thought I did everything right. I was playing solo, so I was trying to control the bot a little bit. But once you're playing it, it's pretty intuitive with all the icons, all the iconography. There is a lot at first, but once you kind of know it, it starts becoming a little bit easier. So what you'll do is you have these cards in your hand, and these cards can do a bunch of things, just multi-use cards. So on your turn, you're going to do one of, I believe it's 5 actions, possibly 6. But you can, let me get the player board out here because the player board is done really good. You can make a probe, and then with that probe, you can move it around. You can orbit or land on a planet once your probe is on that planet. You can scan the night skies to collect some data. You can research once you've got enough publicity from either moving or doing other things. Once your data has been collected, you can analyze it using your computer, which will then give you some life form traces. So there's 3 traces of life. I don't remember what they are off the top of my head, but there's a purple one, there's a blue one, and then there's a yellow one. So when you're landing mainly, you're going to be getting the yellow life traces. When you're analyzing data, you're getting the blue life traces. And then when you are scanning the night skies, you'll be getting the purple traces. So on the board, there is a section for 2 alien races that are face down. They're hidden until you find enough data until you find enough life traces to flip them over. So there's 5 different alien races in the box. Like I said, you'll be playing with 2 of them. So once you find enough data, those aliens will flip over, and then you'll just be doing stuff with them. What I really enjoyed about it was the fact that you have these 5 different ones. So last night I played with 2 of them, and then this afternoon I played with 2 other ones, just so that I can experience the other ones. And I found the replayability pretty high. I thought it was, again, I've had 2 plays of it, so I don't know, James, if you've had more than that, but it was really cool, like the different mechanics that they added. So like this red alien, species, they added kind of like a push your luck mechanic to the game, where you would be trying to complete these different missions, like trying to get 3 probes launched, or trying to complete black sectors or scan black sectors. But when you did that, you would add a bunch of danger to your hand. So at the end of the game, whoever has more danger, so let's say I played 2 cards that totaled 15 danger, and the other person played 3 cards, but it totaled 14 danger, which is what happened in my playthrough. Me, the person that played more, would actually lose 10% of my final score. So last night in my game, I scored, I think it was like 189. I ended up losing 18 points because I had more danger in the red one. George, what game is that? So that's kind of like this push your luck mechanic that's on this one. The yellow ones, the Maskamites, they introduced this pick up and deliver mechanic. So they're going to drop off some tokens on Saturn and Jupiter. And those tokens are just bonuses. So you can go to them, pick them up, you can deliver them back to Earth, and then it gets sent off. So they're bonuses that you can get later. George, Galileo Galilei, I did not realize that he was the same designer. I've heard that game is fantastic, so we'll have to check that one out. James, yes, the red one is probably my least favorite that I played, but I think it would be more fun at higher player counts. It's definitely not good at solo and 2-player, just because it's, just you and somebody else. And Tea Garden, have not heard of Tea Garden. So the yellow one's cool. It's got that little pick up and deliver thing. For the, I don't even know how to say this one, the purple one, theirs is more about scanning. So you're going to be scanning stuff and collecting another resource. And then you can spend that resource to get tons of victory points. This is the one that I played this afternoon, and I really enjoyed the purple ones. And then you have the blue, the anomalies, which is just getting kind of in-game bonuses anytime that Earth rotates. And then the green ones I have not actually played with, but Devin played with them. And this one just introduces card tucking. And Devin said naturally that is his favorite. So anything where you're tucking for income or anything like that, he's been really enjoying that one. So I think whichever one's come out, you're going to be changing your gameplay a little bit, just based on what's there. So again, I've had 2 plays of it. Devin played twice with his wife. We're going to be recording a video on this one relatively soon, but I've been enjoying it. Like I said, there is a lot of icons, but everything on here, it explains it. So it tells you if you are doing the probe action, you need to pay 2 credits. If you're scanning the night sky, you got to pay a credit and 2 energies. All of that, it's laid out pretty directly on here. My biggest complaint with the game is there is so much freaking setup. So much setup. You have 12 technology tiles, and they all have to be split up on top of, hold on, no, you have more than 12, I'm sorry. There's 16 times 3. Yeah, there's 4 in each stack, and there's 4 technologies, and then there's 3 different sections of them. So there's a lot of these. There's too many, and then having to stack them up, putting the point tokers on there. Whenever you're scanning the night sky, you're having to replace your little probes or your little discs with the data. You're having to collect that. So there's just a lot of little things in setup that take some time. The game length doesn't bother me. Yesterday, I played my first game, which I believe was like 2.5 hours. I thought that was fine. This afternoon, I played the game, and I think it was like 145. We don't mind long games as long as they are engaging. Says I logged 3, played all the aliens. I guess I still didn't like how long it got after aliens revealed. Yeah, see, that's something that just doesn't really bother us too much, as long as we're engaged. And especially in the game that I was playing today, right? Like I had a pretty decent lead on the AI for the first half of the game. And then when the second alien race came out, it was starting to catch up. So it was starting to get a little bit close. My first game I played on the second level. difficulty, so not the easiest, but it's the one that adds in objectives. And honestly, I destroyed the solo on that one. So then today I decided to go up to the level 3 difficulty. I still ended up winning pretty good, but at one point it was kind of catching up to me a little bit. So I don't know. I think it will play better at the higher player count. I would say probably 3 is where it shines. But I'm very excited and I'm really interested in playing it at 2 players. And like I said, Devin and I will probably do that this week. Not sure, but we'll see. James, I've been looking at 3D printed inserts for this one. This one I think definitely needs it. I know, I forget the company now. Folded Space. I believe they have one. But I've also just been looking at STL files online because, like I've mentioned before, our local library will print those for us with the 3D printer that they have. So let's see. That is all of the games that we've gotten new to us this month since last time that we reached out here. So yeah, let's see. Next ones, like I mentioned, Woodcraft, Aldebaran Duel. No, Woodcraft is next. And then we'll probably play Little Alchemist maybe this week or next week whenever we meet up with Joe. I think that would be a good one. I'm about to text him. Our library has printers, but you can only use them for 2 hours. So with ours, what they do is you get the STL file. You just email it to them. They give you an estimate of how much it's going to cost. And then they just start printing them. And they said, they tell you if it's a big job that they might pause it, have other people's jobs come in. But I've done multiple prints. I actually sent off, I did this one for the White Castle there, and it's amazing, right? So, they print all the stuff there for you, but it takes, I don't know, about a week, and then I get an email and they say, hey, it's ready. You have a week to come pick it up. This one cost me $25, maybe $30 at most. I printed one for Ezra and Nehemiah. That one wasn't very expensive either. I have one made for SETI. You already made one, Pat, and you don't even own the game. That's awesome. I love that. Very nice. Yeah, it's super awesome. I love our local library. Support your libraries if you don't. They are terrific places. But yeah, that's it for me here. Like we've mentioned before, we did just start a Discord server. There's a link down there. I posted earlier today. We are going to be live streaming on Friday, and we've got 2 games that we're going to be deciding on. So both of those games there's actually a poll in the Discord. So if you want to go over there and vote for which one you want us to play, we will be streaming one of those 2. It's Salton Sea or Great Western Trail Argentina. Either one of those we are excited to do. Ours is very cheap, 35 cents a gram. That is pretty cheap. But yeah, so if you haven't done that, go ahead and head over to our Discord server. I dropped a link in the chat. Devin will be live on Wednesday. I know our schedule says Tang Garden, but he just had some type of dinner or something come up. I'm not 100% sure exactly. It's something work related. So he said he might be playing something that's a little bit shorter or something that he already knows the rules to, so that he's not having to rush in. So as of right now, it is Tang Garden, but possible it could change. And then, like I said, on Friday, we've got our live stream. We've got one of those 2 games. So head on over there and go vote on that for us. That is all I have. As always, I appreciate you guys being here. James, thanks for hopping in. Appreciate you seeing here. George, thank you for being in here and checking out that that Aldebaran was just the insert, so at least it's not part of the game. And then everybody else, always for we thank you guys for always being here. There you go, Pat. Great Western Trail. So it is Argentina. Changes a little bit, but we will see what adds on there. All right, that is it for me. Appreciate you guys. Have a good night. Talk to you all next time.